enough to get married at first sight and you don't like to talk about sex? What did you sign up for? He's a child. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, being Simone Iman. I am Simone Iman, and if you're new here, I do a little bit of everything, y'all. This is my personal diary, so sometimes you'll get TV reviews and movie suggestions, stuff like that. Sometimes it'll be a little bit of fashion, some hauls, product reviews, beauty, and I'm gonna really get into health and fitness this year because I've successfully lost baby weight 2 times, and I want to share those tips with you guys. So if you're into things like that, then please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video. I upload a couple of times a week, usually on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. One of those 3 days. I always do at least 2 videos a week. So yes, hit the subscribe button. But today we are going to be talking about Married at First Sight season 12 episode, I don't know, this is the Atlanta season though, and originally they was on my nerves just because of Paige and Chris, but now it's everybody. Like, they're all on my nerves. So let's get into it. We open up. Why you always know it's going left when Paige's scenes open up and she looking like a sad puppy? Take your power back, Paige. Like, oh my god, Paige is a disappointment, and I'm gonna just keep it funky with y'all. Like, I was with her for a little while. I get it, Chris ain't the best, but she is toxic. Okay, Paige says that Chris took a flight to Chicago on the way home instead of coming home with her, and like, it seems like he let her know that in the airport that he wasn't coming back to Atlanta with her. So she moves into the house alone. She looks super disappointed, and my question is, at what point does he stop with the BS? Like, okay, you know, the wedding was weird and iffy. His daddy was a mess. He was a mess. They were fetishizing her body. We get to the honeymoon. Y'all saw how that came across. You know, with him sleeping with her and not saying saying he's not attracted to her. Then the whole my ex is pregnant, so now I got a baby mama, and now this. Like, and I'm concerned because I'm feeling like the baby mama lives in Chicago, and that's where he went. She says she's gonna give him some time to think and process through this, but all of the couples are thinking and processing through this at the same time. Chris is not the only one who got married at first sight. Granted, he's the only one who has all of this excess baggage, but these are situations that he's created. They're all thinking through this and processing what they're in now. So why does he get an opportunity to escape the process? It just doesn't make much sense to me. And she always gives him a pass. Like, he's going to continue to run over her because she allows him to. Paige goes to meet with Chris because he wants to talk, so she's like on the, you know, selfie cam talking to us and telling us she's gonna go meet with him so they can talk, and he refuses to film the conversation on camera. He is giving Taylor, what was Taylor's husband in the DC Maryland season, I can't remember his name, but he was like that. Like, he would refuse to talk. He would like go off on production and stuff like that, and it's always the black men's. Like, bruh, you signed up for a reality television show. Let these people tape this shit so we can see what's going on. It's just so frustrating. They start talking. Eventually they do what he likes to do, take the microphones off, run the water, go hide in the bathroom, all that little kitty shit. And then Paige calls production afterward and says that basically Chris tells her that he's going to get back with his ex, and he's already seen a divorce attorney. Sign me up. Okay, perfect. My question is, what is Paige holding on to? This is not your man. Like, no, literally. None of them are, I ain't gonna say they not real partners, but y'all have known each other for 7 days. I don't see the attachment. And then this is another issue for me. If y'all watch this, also watch The Bold and the Beautiful, The Bald and the Beautiful. Kev on Stage, Mrs. Kev on Stage, that chick Angel, and her husband. They do like a review recap show of Married at First Sight. They are very churchy. They have a big church background, much like Paige and Chris. And one thing that Mel, Melissa, Kim on Stage wife, has said before, is that there is a toxicity in the church culture with women that make women think that they have to endure so much in order to be a wife, or that, you know, a part of marriage is this endurance and acceptance of bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And Paige is just like defending this guy, but on her knees praying about it. And it's like, Paige, honestly, do you think this is what God ordained for you in marriage? Like, you can't think this, sis. Like, it just does not make sense. And that whole church stuff that she holding on to, it doesn't look good for her or the church. Let's just say that. Paige says that he's going back to his ex, and she's like yelling on the phone and screaming and cussing. And I'm like, why are you mad? You knew what it was in Vegas. So why are you still allowing this man to have so much control over your emotions? It's upsetting me. I think that one of the reasons why Paige is most upset probably is because she's giving to herself to this man. And we'll find out later with Pastor Cal that I predicted this in my last review of this show, that she's been continually giving herself to this man, even though he's proven time and time again that he is not worthy of her body. Sis, if you're not a virgin, we all have slept with somebody and regretted it. Who cares? You slept with him, move on. If you're not a virgin, you've regretted having sex with somebody before. Okay, at least you can say you was married to the man. Does that make you feel better? Because she's such a holy roller. Maybe that'll make her feel better. And then we see Paige about to meet with Pastor Cal. And I'm ready for Pastor Cal to get her together. She sits down with Pastor Cal and she's telling him what's going on. And Pastor Cal is like, so where do we go from here? Home, Paige. Go home. Why are you still here going through this? Pastor Cal asks if Chris is coming. They both don't know. She's saying that she's never felt desired by him, but she's giving him her body. And she's saying that she had sex with him because she felt like that was her wifely duty. To a stranger, Paige? Pastor Cal look when he's listening to her talk, Pastor Cal look like he want to whip Chris' ass, like on sight. Like, Pastor Cal keep taking his glasses off. He look like he got a migraine headache. Me too. She's explaining all of this to Pastor Cal, and it's like, Pastor Cal's like, this is BS. He's like, I'm a pastor, I can't say bullshit, but this is BS. Because anybody watching, anybody that she's sharing this story with, can see that this is an issue. Like, Paige, you're giving him too many passes. Like, wipe your hands with this and chunk dues. You will not be the first person that did not make it to decision day. When she tells Pastor Cal about Chris having an ex that's pregnant, Pastor Cal genuinely seems surprised. Do y'all believe that this is Pastor Cal's first time hearing this? Because I don't believe that. I feel like he's heard that before. Is he acting? Like, this is too serious, Pastor Cal. Like, if you wasn't in the loop, you should have been in the loop. Why you didn't know this already? He asked her if they've still been intimate after all this has happened, and she said yes. She's giving herself to him almost every day except 2 days. Come here, Paige. Let me talk to you real quick. What are you thinking? How do you let this boy just disrespect you? Boy, disrespect you like this on camera, what will be national television, and continue to lay down in the bed with him unprotected. Paige, I was saying that Paige had low self-esteem. Paige has no esteem of self. Okay? She is not a good candidate for this show, just as Chris isn't, because she does not have enough self-worth to go into something like this with a stranger and hold her ground. Disappointing in Paige is not even the correct verbiage for how I feel about everything that she shared with Pastor Cal. But it takes Pastor Cal to get it out of him, though. Paige then tells Pastor Cal that she knows she's not pregnant because she's on her cycle. Paige is very free with her mouth. She tells grown people everything. And Paige tells Pastor Cal that Chris wants to get back with his ex. Then we see clips of skinny jeans, knock knees, and thick thighs coming up the hallway, and I just know it's him in all of his toxic. See, that's how you built when you toxic. That's how you dress when you toxic, okay? The look of disgust on Pastor Cal's face, on Paige's face, on my face, when Chris walked through their door, is just unmatched, okay? I was so disgusted to see him. First of all, you're late. You know what time the call sheet said you should have been here. Second of all, sit down and talk to us about why you feel like this is something that is even to be mentioned. Like, I felt like if he had gotten that girl pregnant and all that, he should have kept that shit to himself and cleaned that up behind the scenes. Even if he didn't, he don't owe Paige nothing because he don't know her. But just as for the culture, why would you embarrass this black woman on television like this? I don't know. He says he's still in love with his baby mama and that he thinks the best thing for them to do is divorce. Pastor Cal starts pastoring and he starts talking to Chris, and Chris is like smiling and smirking because Paige is like, he's dragged me this last week. You have. You absolutely have. When Pastor Cal asks him about sex, he refuses to talk about it. So how can you be so bold as to have sex with her, have sex with your ex, conceive a child, be bold enough to get married at first sight, and you don't like to talk about sex? What did you sign up for? He's a child. Then he says, to her credit, his ex is a great woman as well. Well, she's not here. When we see in the previews that she'll be here next week, though. This is screaming clout. Honestly, this is screaming clout. When Pastor Cal asks Paige if she wants a divorce, she doesn't say yes. She says something about her not fitting in the equation. The answer, Paige, the $1 million answer is yes. What are you sticking around for this abuse for? Then he leans in for the manipulation and he's whispering in her ear, and Paige tells us that he tells her that he could see himself, he's afraid that he will fall in love with her. He will fall in love with you, but he's not attracted to you. And Paige gets to smiling, skinning and grinning, like something going, like that's cool, like that's okay. Send Paige to Betty Ford because she got a problem. Okay, a problem. And I'm like I said, y'all, disappointed is not the word. Chris is a problem, but Paige is an even bigger problem. I need to see the people who raised her. We didn't get enough backstory with her daddy, and her mama, because this is unacceptable. It is. And I don't want to talk about it no more. Moving on. We get to Brianna and Vincent, and Brianna is gorgeous. Can we just say that? I love her braids and her interview looks. She seems like she's a little OCD about cleaning. But those are minor things. I think that when we see Vincent's place, he's not like super sloppy or nasty or anything. So it works out. And then Pastor Cal comes to talk to them. Their scenes were kind of like on the inverse. They sat with Pastor Cal first, and then we see them go to each other's places later. Brianna and Vince share everything that they like about each other with Pastor Cal, and then they start talking about finances. And he shares, you know, Vincent says, I'm a new entrepreneur and I've explained this to her. But when he looks at her in her eyes and he's like, I promise that we'll be well off, I'll be successful, and you can have anything you want. That was a moment, okay? And even Pastor Cal felt it. It was a moment. They're on the same page about kids, and then Pastor Cal asked them if they consummate their marriage. Of course, we know they did that on their honeymoon. And then he asks about issues, and Vincent says that moving forward he's going to need a little more respect from her because she's more direct than he is. Not that she's done anything or said anything wrong, but he just has this feeling that he could kind of see it going there. And honestly, I feel like she has like touched him or rubbed him the wrong way, and he's just liked her so much and enjoyed what they're experiencing together that he hasn't said anything about it yet, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. She's assertive. She says she doesn't want to hurt him and she doesn't want to hurt her feelings. But then also, do you want to feel like you just can't talk to your husband, or you got to be walking on eggshells in your house because your partner is hypersensitive to the things that you say? I don't know. Pastor Cal response is dead on. You know, you're a human being. You guys are gonna disagree. She's gonna say something that's going to rub you the wrong way, but it's about how you rebound after you go through something like that. How do you recover after the fumble? Like, what do y'all do to make sure you get back on the same page? Vincent comes to her place and it's super nice. She's a super girly girl. She got a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, but her TV drunk. Her TV leaning. She goes to his place. His place is really nice. I wasn't expecting it to be that nice. I don't know why, but there was a cute aesthetic. It kind of looked like they live in the same apartment building. Like, literally, it looked like they walked down the hallway and went to each other's apartments, right? They go to their shared apartments, and that's where things get a little weird. So he opens a bottle of champagne, right? And he spills it. And she's like laughing, like jokingly, oh, ha ha ha, look at you, how Vincent of you. And he got mad, y'all. It's giving childhood trauma. Like, maybe he was picked on or something as a child, or somebody was calling him stupid and you never do nothing right, and that's lingered with him, because he really blew it out of proportion. Like, I didn't feel like Brianna said anything out of the way or too crazy. I got where he was coming from, but it didn't merit that reaction. And then when she was like, she don't want to talk about it no more, he was like, well, I'm gonna just go home. Cause she said, how Vincent of you? Cause you spilled some champagne? Just be like, I don't like to be teased. Why is that hard to say? I was teased as a child, or I was ridiculed as a child, or I feel demeaned when I'm made fun of. So please don't do that, because that doesn't make me feel good. And go to bed. Like, why is that so hard? This dude left. And it was so beautiful up until then. It didn't. A didn't go to Z for me. It just was, I hate that for them. But I think that they're both invested enough in a relationship to be able to recover. But whatever that is, Vincent got to fix that. Like, there's nothing Brianna can do for that. Nothing. Vincent got to fix that issue that he have about being ridiculed or whatever the case may be. Haley and Jacob. I was liking Haley and Jacob. Granted, I missed the episode, but this week it was like, they weren't even at square one. They was like at square -10. Haley is talking to us after a night with the girls in Vegas, and they're getting on the plane, and she says that Jacob blew up on her because she told him that they were having a girls' night. And what I'm thinking, so I didn't really hear a clear explanation of what happened. I think that they were all hanging out as a group, and Haley said it was a girls' night, and when Jacob found out the other guys were there, he felt like loser. He felt like a dork. He felt like he wasn't cool enough to be with the cool kids, and you're my wife, and you said it was a girls' night, and you knew better, and you left me out. That's just what I came up with. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, she says that Jacob told her that she pulled back all of a sudden. She's acting like she has a boyfriend back home, and Haley's like, I've been single for 7 years. Where did I get a boyfriend from? Miss Haley went and changed her seat on the plane. Child, I'm gonna show you how to be ugly. Okay, I don't even want to sit by your head. They haven't been talking, and it comes to a head. They go back to their shared apartment, and the energy is just nasty. Haley says she starts to see things coming out, and she didn't like it, so she pulled back. Jacob is insisting that she lied, and he's like, it's a white lie, and I think that's what it was. Everybody was hanging out with a group, and they left him out, the weird dorky 80s guy, and he was tripping about that. Then he starts telling her that she's high strung and she's high anxiety, and like, he's getting offensive. And it's, come on now, we already not doing well. You gonna start name calling and diagnosing? Like, come on, Jacob. Like, he really blew up for no reason. What is going on with the grooms? What's going on with the husbands on the show? They really are tripping. I never saw this actual version of Jacob coming alive either. Like, he's cool, dorky 80s guy. I didn't see him going crazy like that. They slept in separate beds, and Haley says that Jacob apologized for what he said. And then Haley goes off to work. Y'all, this is what I would have said she had a boyfriend. What Haley had on to go to work? She must be working from home, because she had a really nice home office. Sis had on a pair of sandals and some shorts, like shorts though. And she said she was going to work. Jay comes over to Haley's, and her place is really nice. They start going through her apartment, and he like digging in her luggage, going through her closets, and then he calls her a Karen. Oh, Jacob just don't have a good meter for what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Then Haley goes to his house that he's always been so proud of, and his basement's really nice, and it's just like his clothes are 80s, his life is 80s, his shoes is 80s, and then the dogs. Y'all, they have 4 dogs between them. He had to dive on the floor to keep the dog from attacking her dog. Like, what are they gonna do with all these dogs? I didn't like it. It was a mess. Pastor Cal comes, and Haley says that their connection isn't the best, and Pastor Cal asks about intimacy and touching, and Haley is not a touch. Haley said touch is her last love language. She don't like to be touched, and Jacob is like, that makes him feel like she doesn't like him. Being liked is a thing for Jacob. Like, he has to be liked. Like, you can tell he probably was not liked at some point in his life for a long time. No girls. And he really takes that to heart. They tell Pastor Cal about their blow up, and it seems like Jacob is kind of embarrassed about what he did, and he basically says that, you know, he was a side chick before. He had been dealing with a girl, and he didn't realize till afterwards that she had a guy, and that she was just seeing him on the side, and so that's like a sensitive spot for him. Haley says that their argument pushed her further away from him, as if there already was like not some, you know, the chemistry wasn't the best. Then you said I was high strung, a lot of anxiety, and called me a liar, and then just pushed me all the way out into the hallway, bruh. He keeps saying that he isn't sure she likes him, and his obsession with the 80s is an issue for her. I think it's cute, it's quirky, but you also can't let this be something that like totally turns her off to where she doesn't, you know, see any opportunities for intimacy with you, or she's not attracted to you because you're such a dork. You know, like, grow up a little bit. And Pastor Cal told him that, like, let her redesign you, let her add some newness to your life. Don't be stuck in the 80s and single and not liked. But I think that their talk with Pastor Cal really helped them, all in all. And then, I don't know, y'all, I'm using 2 phones for notes. We get to Eric and Virginia. This is toxic, y'all. Like, Paige and Chris's toxicity, they're like medical grade chemical plant toxic. Eric and Virginia is like, you need to have 911 on speed dial, because Eric is scary. It's something about him that's just like not, I can't put my finger on it. It's almost giving abuser, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm nervous for them living together because the honeymoon is over, and she says that she needs space at times. And I was kind of with him on that. Well, he does work 75 days out of the month, so you're gonna have a lot of spaces. I wouldn't even be talking about needing space, because you're gonna get it. Like, it's inevitable. When he's talking to her, he's sunning her. He's talking to her like a child, and that's a thing for me. Like, I don't like that. Like, do whatever, say whatever, but don't talk to me like a child. And he's giving me talking like he talks down to her. He also says a lot of, you've never done this before, and I have. And that's also something in relationships that I don't like, because I'm in a relationship with someone who's older than me. Don't look, bruh, if you knew what the right thing to do was, we wouldn't be here, because you would have got it right the first time. So stop telling me what I don't know, because obviously you don't know either. Eric goes to her apartment, and it was cleaner than I expected. It was nicer than I expected. It's real knick-knacky, like he was saying, but it was better than I expected. He says he's allergic to cats. I call call bullshit too, right along with Virginia. I don't think he's allergic to cats. I don't think he took Benadryl before he went there. I think he doesn't like cats. And so instead of just owning up to not liking them, he tells her that he's allergic. Then we go to Eric's place, y'all. Who designed Eric's apartment? It was so nice. Oh my goodness, it was so nice. Definitely unexpected. He got money. He had a little mini studio. It just had a lot of character. It was definitely like sleazy bachelor pad almost, but it was like right on that line. It was a fine line. It was right on the line between sleazy and like really well, what am I saying? Really well decorated, I guess. They got 2 dogs and 2 cats. I ain't never seen this many animals on maps in ever. Pastor Cal comes to talk to them, and they start talking about how they're doing, and we find out that they've consummated their marriage. Go figure. And then they start talking about Virginia hanging out. Virginia says that she went to hang out with some friends, and Eric told her to be careful, and she took it like not so well. Like, what does that mean? She didn't snap or anything, but she kind of felt like he was, you know, being overprotective by telling her to be careful. He's like, no, it's just a general statement, like, you're going out without me, be careful. But she also says that she wants to hang out with her guy friends and get drunk and pass out on their couch. And I'm with Pastor Cal. That's inappropriate as a married woman. You gotta grow up a little bit, Virginia. Like, call him to come pick you up if you that wasted. Uber home. Go to one of your homegirls' house. But as a married man, no man wants his woman sleeping on another man's couch. I don't give a damn how good of friends you are. So she really does. She gotta grow up a little bit and get over that. I'm really questioning why she signed up for this, because her lifestyle doesn't match what the responsibilities of being a wife are. Unless you know who your partner is and y'all are on the same page. But like marrying a total stranger, you know, the odds are they're not going to set you up with someone exactly where you are in life and exactly like you. So you got to be like kind of aware that maybe I will get someone who's a little slower to the boogie, or someone who's not as much of a partier. But she's like, I like to drink, I like to party. You know, he's saying it's a phase, but this is a part of my life. Like, Virginia, you really think you're gonna be like this for the rest of your life? Like, sis, come on, you gotta give it a break. You can't, because one, it's showing on your face whether you know it or not. It's going to age you. Partying ages you. It's not good for your health. Go to bed, Fred. Like, you don't want to sleep at night. You want to party Friday, Thursday through Sunday. Like, Virginia, give it a rest. I don't see that working out well for them. And Eric ain't willing to budge. That's looking like a divorce. It just is. And lastly, we're going to talk about Clara and Ryan. You guys, I really like Clara and Ryan. I really do. They're talking about getting into a routine, and she says that she usually goes to bed around 1 a.m. And Ryan's like, oh, I'm usually like a 10:30, 11 o'clock on a late night. And he has to sleep in pitch dark. Look, sleep is a sacred space, okay? I sleep with the fan on. I need a couple covers. I need a whole bunch of pillows, and I gotta sleep with the TV on. I gotta be with somebody who matches that energy. Like, I cannot sleep in pitch black dark. I don't want to sleep in pitch black dark. So that's a huge compromise to make, okay? Ryan's place is nice and clean, except for when he opens the cabinets. Like, fix the shelf, Ryan. Or don't open that one. And he isn't as neat as he thinks he is, or as he appears to be. Like, his image is very clean cut, like with the slick back, but like his drawers are junky, you know. His shelves are falling. But I think that that's good to see the imperfections in him, because he does present as such a well manicured, well maintained package. You know, it's good to see that humanness in him, especially for Clara, because she's not like he is, so buttoned up and tight knit, you know. Pastor Cal shows up, and they tell him about how good they're doing and their love story, and they're like, why aren't we disagreeing yet? And Pastor Cal's like, oh, if I start asking questions, y'all gonna start disagreeing. They have not consummated their marriage, but it's not because Clara doesn't want to, it's because Ryan is not ready. And I think that's so refreshing. But we know that he has a strong sense of values and a strong faith. You know, he aligns his faith with his value system, so I'm not surprised by that at all. But Clara's ready whenever he is. Pastor Cal explains to Ryan that he's walking down the path of love. Like, you've made a commitment to her, you're committed to her, love is coming, and you can't be you know, scared of it or say, I've never said that I love someone before. Well, now is the time, because you're married. Clara says, you know, she's a lover. She loves everybody. She got love on the brain. And she told Ryan that she's afraid that she'll fall in love with him and he won't love her back. And Pastor Cal was like, you know, that's a genuine concern, because he knows that about Clara. But I am of the belief that Ryan won't do that. I think that they will fall in love, and that will be some of the best TV of the season, when we actually see that spark when Clara and Ryan fall in love with one another. But yeah, it was cute. Altogether, the episode was really good. The episode seems like it's gonna be really good next week as well. But why is Chris bringing his baby mama on the show? You guys, it's giving clout. It's giving Chris and this girl are trying to get some type of exposure. And why would Paige sit down and talk to them? I'm talking about they should. I hope Paige got an agent and they cut a big check. Okay? Because I'm confused about this one. Just as confused as I was when Vincent left because he spilled champagne and Brianna teased him a little bit. Just as confused as I was when Haley and Jacob had all them dogs in that apartment. I'm just confused, okay? But great episode. I can't wait to see what next week brings. Again, you guys, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.